Hi guys, welcome to my Bajerski YouTube channel. What am I looking for? I'm losing everything as well as my marbles. I'm sure I just put something down. So here we go. It's disappeared. Some piece of Moldavite. Now I kid you not. There it is. I took it out of my pocket. It must have gone back in there. I'm either losing it or something's going on. That's weird. Okay guys, it's lovely to see you all. Welcome to my Bajerski Crystals channel. It's a beautiful day today and we're going to talk about a beautiful crystal. And we're in Ubud, by the way guys. Sorry, I just had my breakfast. I've ridden all the way from Ubud to Canggu just to do this video here because I love this rice field. Yeah, it's a little bit noisy, but I don't know, it just brings back memories of a couple of years ago when I was here. Do you remember? Well, this is the rice field. This is the restaurant, which unfortunately is closed down, and the only inhabitants here are about 5 little baby kittens over there. So there's many other places on here where they're building new buildings. But anyway, let's get back to the crystal, shall we? That's what this is about. More about crystals, and my other channel is more about chat. Okay guys, this is a great day to talk about a wonderful crystal that is readily available. You don't need to go onto my website and buy one from there. You can buy them from any store because this crystal is a very, very easy crystal to come across everywhere, and that's a good thing because it really is a powerful crystal. It really is, and I love wearing them. So I've got one on today and I'm gonna wear it and I'm going to share my understanding of this crystal, and I'm also gonna give you a few hints, and I have another crystal just here which work really well together for certain reasons. I'll explain that in a minute. And I've also brought my Moldavite oil, so maybe it gives you an idea of what we're about to use with this crystal. But anyway guys, welcome, and I'll show you the crystal. So please say hello to the very beautiful citrine. So as you can see, this citrine is very nicely polished in a very beautiful pencil style setting on solid silver. This is what I love to sell. Nice, easy, genuine, and you can see within it, it's got a beautiful color of yellow. And depending on where the citrine comes from around the world, I've actually got another one here that's going to show you a slightly different color formation and pattern. This is in its natural form. This is citrine too. You're probably going to say you like either one or the other. I love them both. They're both equally as beautiful. Okay, so there you go. You can see with this one how the citrine in its natural formation comes from this beautiful almost cloud formation, and then it goes into the citrine. So it's a lovely, lovely quartz. It really is. So okay, citrine. I was introduced to citrine pretty quickly in the world of spirituality because I used to go into shops and they were all over. Citrine, citrine, citrine. As you all probably know by now, I never read books, and coincidentally that was because I'm not good at reading. I struggle to read. So really it's been a really good thing for me because I don't follow suit of other people who share information on social media about crystals, because most of them are regurgitating somebody else's belief system of that crystal. And I've often shared with you, and if you're new to this channel, I can give you this crystal and you can hold it, and then I can give it to somebody else, a friend of yours, and they can hold it, and I'll ask you both what you felt about that crystal, and I guarantee you'll feel different things completely. So that kind of made me understand, well, you know, well, actually it happened like this. I had a crystal in my hand once, right, and I was being blown away by it completely, and it was a Moldavite, of course, and I was like so overpowered by this crystal. I went a little bit crazy. So I was putting it into people's hands, and people were starting to say, no, I actually feel a bit cold. It feels cold in my hand. And I'm saying, feels cold? you're not feeling the burning in your hand. Are you sure you mean cold? Yeah, it feels cold. And then I give it to somebody else and they'd say, wow, I've got like a migraine now. That's not very nice. And I was like, a migraine? And as I was giving it to different people, this crystal, I came to the conclusion that all books are a waste of time, because each crystal will heal somebody on a different effect. Now, the bigger picture to all crystals, because you're going to say, well, what's the point doing crystal videos then if it's going to work differently on me? And that's a great question. That's a great bloody question. But the thing is, the bigger picture to me that I've come to see is that if you're watching this video and you're listening to a certain video and you're feeling a pull towards what I'm talking about, that is the greatest power of your intuition calling you and the crystal calling you to come together. Now, what happens after that is nobody's guess. You can't guess, because once you attach yourself to, say, this crystal, you might get an overwhelming feeling of pain. You might get an overwhelming feeling of euphoria. So there is no set rules to crystals. That's why I love them. But there is one thing that I've totally seen over and over again. There are certain patterns with crystals after the initial blast energy happens. Now, people say, well, what does this mean? I write it in my new book. The blast energy is the instant you take that crystal in your hand, and sometimes even looking at that crystal, it reacts to your body in a certain way that you then start to either do one of two things. You either start to cleanse and clear and let go, or you then start to take the power within that crystal to heighten your spirituality, heighten your healing process. So there is a split energy with crystals that I can hold, say, like, I don't know, a Vera Cruz, and I'll hold that like I did a few weeks ago, and I felt pain straight away, a real pain, and it was coming from just at the right side of where my heart is. Now, for me, the heart is in the middle, so if you consider the heart in the middle, you think to the right hand side. I placed my hand there and I felt a pain, and it was like somebody was stabbing me there. It's like, whoa. Now, a month or two before that, I had the same crystal, and my stomach was absolutely doing somersaults of happiness, of joy. So my feeling about crystals, and it's great to talk about this because it's important for us to understand what crystals do. My feeling about crystals is that there are certain things within your body, within the blocks and the issues and the memories, that a crystal, when you come in contact with a crystal, it has an effect to help certain points of your growth in healing in all different forms. So where I'm going with this is that even though I speak to you on a level of seeing the pattern of certain crystals and what they've done for my clients, and I share that with you, always be open to the crystal doing many other things. In fact, more than anything that I share with you, make sure that your experience with that crystal is more important than my experiences with my clients. Once you've digested that and you touch your first crystal, then you become the master of the crystal. So let's go, shall we? Here we go. A beautiful, beautiful crystal to hang around your neck. This crystal works on a level where I feel, rather than sit it too high or sit it too low, I think round about here. So here's my boobies, so round here, and then bring it up a little bit to about there. Now, what does this crystal do when it's around your neck? One of the things I noticed with citrine is that it brought out the lion, the power, the inner flame within you. It's an amazing crystal for when I say prosperity, I only mean that in all of the good things of emotions that come into your life. Is it a positive crystal? Beyond a doubt, it has great positivity within this crystal. It has an energy of light. It has an energy of healing. It also has a great energy that will awaken your flame. And it targets, just like I said, around the chest and a little bit higher. And whatever's happening on that power point is really making a positive effect on your life. It really works on a positive level. The vibration of this crystal when you hold it is extremely positive. So if you're feeling down, depressed, if you feel anxious, if you feel sad, if you feel negative emotion, this crystal is a counteracting crystal. It will clear those feelings in the sense that it blasts you with an energy which is stronger than those that make you feel bad. Does that make sense? So that's my feeling towards this crystal. It's amazing for the kind of... Just give me a second, guys. Oh, sorry about that, guys, because I'm sat here, people are thinking this place is open, so the French couple just came in and sat down and says, no, it's not open, it's closed. But then they sat there for 15 minutes. So now let's get back to it. So sorry guys, I'm out of the flow, I need to get back into the flow again. Okay, so we're talking about citrine. Oh God. Yeah, I said I would never stop a video, so I'm not gonna. Okay, let's hope nobody else comes. So okay, so let me have a feel again and try and connect and attune. Many people came to me with problems of being lost, basically, not really knowing which way to go in life, feeling a bit down, and you know, what's my path, what's my journey. And every time I used to give them a piece of citrine, they used to feel stronger and happier. And normally when you're stronger and happier, you have the courage to look at your life and face those fears that stop us from believing in what we can do. So I believe citrine has the power to help you manifest those dreams in the way that, because you're feeling stronger, you know, when you're feeling happy, you can do anything, right? You feel you can go anywhere and do anything, and a lot of the times when you start to do something else, you think, oh, where did that come from? This is a little bit more of a struggle. But that moment when you know you can do something, that's what this does. The citrine makes you feel like you can conquer the world. And it is a positive crystal that way. It really is. There's nothing wrong with that. And even if you do something and you look back and think, wow, where did that come from? Maybe I shouldn't have done that. No, you should. Everything that you do in life, especially when a crystal helps you, there's a journey for it and there's a reason for it. So trust in your crystal, trust in your citrine. I'm going to talk about other things with citrine, but one of the things that I like to work with citrine is, I'll show you, is this little crystal. It's called Moldavite, and I've got some Moldavite oil here, and this is what I do. I take my Moldavite oil, okay, one little drop, and put it just here, and then rub your fingers into the Moldavite, so your beautiful fingers are going right inside and the oil is going everywhere. Okay, so this is what I do when I do a little bit of meditating and I want to bring the most powerful energy out within me, and I want to see my future, I want to see my goals. And sometimes it's really good to do a guided meditation future read, and this is how we're going to do it. So you take the crystal and you place it in whichever finger feels comfortable, and then you take the crystal and put it right on your third eye without poking your eye like I just did. Okay, so there you go. Okay, so you can just comfortably do this. Then with this crystal you hold it in either your left or right, whichever hand you've got available and free. And now we're gonna I'm going to take you through what I do. This is just my little tricks, okay? I'm going to take you through what I do. I'll just bring the camera down a tiny bit, okay? And I'll talk you through it. So how I'm going to do it is, I would visualize it, but I'm going to talk you through the visualization, and I'm going to show you. And if you want to try it, you can do. If you guys have got a piece of Moldavite that I've sent you as a gift, or if you've bought one, go and get one and stick the Moldavite here, okay? You can use a big piece, little piece, doesn't matter. Okay, if you've got the any oils, any of the oils that I have, or any oils that you like working with, rub it on your third eye as well as the crystal, and make sure that the oil is in your fingers, because when your hand is here, you're actually feeling the oil and it's penetrating at the same time, okay? So if you've got a citrine, great. If not, you can use a herkimer, you can use any power crystal, okay? Another good crystal you could work with is amethyst as well, but we're trying to stick with this crystal at the moment, because this really works for this particular visualization. It's actually not a visualization, by the way, guys. It's actually amazing. It's a very powerful technique. Okay, so now I've got the citrine in my hand. I'm feeling the energy warm up. I'm feeling the energy running to my heart, which I expect straight away. The Moldavite is now kind of bursting my forehead. I can feel the energy of the Moldavite. So now what I'm going to do is ask a few questions. Remember, I would only ask that in my mind's eye. And the first question I'm about to ask is, where do I want to live in the world? Where do I next want to live? Okay, your question can be anything, but I'm just going to give you a demonstration. So I'm going to think of one place, which is, let me have a think of one place. Let's say Portugal. Okay, so here goes. I'm going to live in Portugal. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a visualization of waking up in the morning in my bed in Portugal and going through the whole day and then coming back on the night and seeing how I feel. So I'm going to start. So now I'm waking up in the morning. I can hear the cockerel. I can smell nature. So I'm in the campo, in Mother Nature. I'm not in a city, and it's a sleepy place. It's lovely. It's very quiet. I get up and I head. It's all on one level. I can see it's all on one level. It's not got any steps, so it means it's a big property, all on one level. When I say big, maybe 2 bedrooms, big enough for me. So I'm now walking into the kitchen, which looks very rustic. Looking on the shelves, and it's all fresh fruit and vegetables, so I choose certain fruits to eat in the morning. Plenty of water, because I know there's a well in the grounds, so there's a well. That's nice. So I cut my fruit up and I walk out of the kitchen into the view, and the view is of lots of fields. I see no mountains. I see no sea, but I see lots of fields, trees. So I sit down and have my breakfast. So I'm eating my breakfast. I feel at peace, really peaceful. I do some meditating for a little bit of writing, and then I get on to a little motorbike and I ride into the nearest village, which is about 10 minutes away. It's a little village with only a few people in there. Very quiet. I sit and have a tea. I do a little bit more writing, a little bit of more work. I get on my bike and I go home. I make some fresh fruit, and I decide to maybe start the cooking. I start to do some cooking. I go into the garden and choose some fruits and vegetables, and I make my food. I sit down, I eat it. outside. It's still very beautiful outside and nice and warm. I finish my food and then get back to a bit more work, working on some crystals, working on some designs for my crystals, working on meditation and sending healing to people who need it. And then I go to bed, nice and early. Okay, now I take my Moldavite off and I come back to myself, my self-realization, where I am now. And now I ask myself on a mental level, on a mind level, because the spiritual level has just been shown to me and what we've seen and felt. Now, Mark, how did you feel about that, having worked with these two crystals? And what do you feel about Portugal? Well, Portugal's really nice and very peaceful. What about the place where you lived? It was very quiet, very peaceful, fresh fruit and vegetables around me, very clean, no noise, no problems, lots of greenery, and very peaceful. So when you wanted a little bit more life and you went into the village, how did it feel? Well, it was really nice, but you know, there's really not much happening. There's only a few people walking around. There's only 2 or 3 little coffee shops. Okay, so there's 2 or 3 coffee shops. You enjoyed it. Not many people. You like your own company. That was good. Yeah, it was really nice. Go back. Lovely to have my own fresh fruit and vegetables, to make my own food. That was amazing. Do my work, very peaceful, very quiet, and then I go to bed. So Mark, could you do that every day for the next 2 years? No, I couldn't. Why is that? Well, for all the peace I got from it, I still need stimulation. I still need to interact, to be involved in energies, to feel energies, whether they're good or bad. I still need to feel and be around and experience lots of different understandings around me all the time. So would you live in Portugal, Mark? Now, no, I wouldn't. Well, at least I now know what I don't want, which is great. So do you understand how this works? So I gave you an example of where I asked the question, where do I want to live? You can ask the same question of what job would you like? So if you get excited over a job and you think, oh, I'd love to do this job, what I'd like you to do is be honest with yourself, right? Don't paint a beautiful picture when you're doing this. Paint the picture of what you would normally do, because many people make the mistakes of dreaming a dream which their reality isn't that dream. By keeping your reality when you're holding the crystals in tune with who you are, and yes, we do change all the time, and we don't really know what we want till we get there, and most of the times we realize that it isn't really what we wanted, it's ourself that needs to change. But a really good method is using the Moldavite and the Citrine. And whatever you want, whether it's a boyfriend or if you've seen a man that you like, you sit down, put that over your head and visualize yourself waking up in the morning, being with him all day, and then doing things with him and then going back to bed. You'll be surprised what comes out. You'll be surprised where you realize you might not want to live, or something might come out of you thinking, this is exactly what I want, because I tried it and I lived that moment. Because what I just shared with you, you might have thought to yourself, my God, I'd love to have that. And absolutely, some people would love to have it. But like anything else, guys, if you don't experience it, you don't 100% know whether it's going to be reality or not. So when you put the Moldavite on, it helps you face the reality and the truth. It brings you to that reality. This crystal helps you open up to feel the truth, to be honest with yourself. So my belief is wholeheartedly that citrine is a very powerful truth crystal. It helps you feel the truth. It also brings out all the things that you don't particularly want to face, because it's a lion crystal. It helps you become the lion. It brings out the inner flame within you. It makes you extremely powerful. So try that. If you don't have a Moldavite, you can lay down and place this on here with a little bit of oil as well, and it works tremendously as well. But always have one of your hands by your heart when you're doing it. It works amazing if you've got that. This is why, if this is by your heart, it's brilliant. If you've got two pieces of this, one here, job done. Always put your hand here at that point if you've got one up here, because the energy of your hand is very powerful and it helps awaken the Moldavite as well, or the citrine. So by placing your hand by your crystals, normally I would suggest that's the most powerful way. However, if you're not in a good place, if you're not feeling well, if you're feeling a bit drained and you still want to do this, then put your hands and ask for energy to come through your hands and let the crystals do their work. So I'm sorry guys, it's been a bit noisy today. There's a lot of work here since last time I was here. A lot of work going on, lots of building work all around me. I think that's one thing about Bali I've noticed. I don't think I can live in Bali because there's so many properties being built now and the rice fields are disappearing fast, and it's becoming overpopulated, too many properties all over the place, and it's losing its taste to me. Now at one time I was going to buy a property here, or try to, and now I'm thinking, no, I don't think I can do that. But what I love about this place is that I can come here, enjoy a few weeks or months here working, and then go back to my home at where it is at the moment. But yes, I am looking for a new home to live and somewhere else to live. And there's so many parts of the world that you can go to and try. But you know, if you can't afford to try to go to these places, well, this is a beautiful, beautiful way to find yourself in certain places to see. It does work, guys, it really does. Give it a try. So I hope I've explained as much as I possibly can of citrine in the spiritual sense, on a healing sense too, guys. If you've got anything wrong with your is it prostate, anything to do with urine, anything to do with infections down below, fabulous crystal for that. It's amazing. Just place it down when you're going to sleep, place it down below and let the energy of the crystal do its work. And if you wear it through the day, it will help as well. Spleen, anything to do with the spleen, this crystal really works well for the spleen. Anything else? Yeah, I think that's it really. They were the real PowerPoints for me. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Thank you for subscribing to Mark Bajerski Crystals channel, the new channel that hopefully we're going to go more in depth and really start to work with crystals and use the touches of different crystals and obviously my oils, and we'll work with we work with different ones every day. I've got so many, I've got so many different techniques and new things that are happening every day that I'm learning via crystals. It's like, just before I did this video, it was like, what video do I do, because I've got so many. So it's going to be great to be able to continue every day like this, and hopefully, all being well, we'll continue and grow. So on a final note, guys, enjoy these beautiful, beautiful, slightly different in shape and formation, but still both extremely powerful in their own way. Citrine, welcome to the world of citrine. Okay guys, get yourself off to your local crystal shop and get one bought. Wow, so much building work. May I make a suggestion to you guys, okay? You've seen me on my other video, on my other channel, talk about the crystal detector. You've seen me, I bought a crystal detector. Here's a little bit of encouragement. If you could go to your local crystal shops and ask them to buy a crystal detector. And the reason why is it's more because I bought a bunch of crystals a few months ago. I think, did I show you the video or not? I'm not so sure, but I bought a bunch of crystals off a reputable dealer. I'm sure I told you about it anyway. And I tested them with the machine. 15 out of about 65 were a glass. And I called them obviously and said, look, I'm not complaining, but I'm just going to show you. And they weren't interested, not at all. and they're a reputable crystal dealer. So my suggestion is, guys, if you're really into crystals and you want to buy genuine crystals, I think we've come to the stage now that we can't really trust in companies anymore unless they've got machines. So what I do is, when I get maybe 100 crystals, I take the machine out and test each one to see if it's a crystal. Now, for a company to invest in a crystal machine from wherever, there's lots of them on the internet. My feeling is this: if they're true crystal dealers, right, if they really care about crystals and they care about their clients and they care about what the work they do, then the question I would ask is, why wouldn't they buy the machine? It's not as if it's 10,000. You can get them now. A friend of mine showed me a picture the other day, and he said these are now selling for about 300 euros. So for 300 euros, you can order one of these machines that guarantee will show you whether it's a crystal. You've seen my machine, I've shown you before. And I'm somebody who loves working with crystals, but even a lot of crystal dealers or crystal workers will say, well, I don't need a machine, I just need to feel it. Listen, guys, I can feel crystals and they feel amazing, right? But there's been times that I've checked it and thought, wow, that isn't genuine. So there's nothing wrong with being truthful and say, you know what, I made a mistake. But for me, I thought, to cover all bases, just buy a machine, Mark. Just invest in a machine. So I would encourage your local shop to let them watch this video at the very end and say, listen, guys, if you want a crystal shop, not only are you doing a good favor for your clients, because you know that the crystal you're giving to your clients are genuine, even though you're buying from the highest level of trustworthy companies like I do, and I still get bitten because they don't check them. So, and if you, I can give you 100 examples of why you should buy them, and I'll give you one. Okay, if you're a crystal shop owner or you deal in crystals and you want to sell them, okay. I was in Germany about 5 years ago, and there was a crystal dealer there, and I said to him, who do you buy from? Because there were a whole load of amethysts. And he said, I buy from a company in China. And I said, well, why? And he says, well, China are buying all the crystals. They're spending millions on them. And I said, okay, China are buying all the crystals. And this is true, they are, okay? Here's the thing. I bought crystals off him and I tested them. And out of all the crystals, which were maybe about 300, I think, there was about 20% not right. And I sent him a message and he never spoke to me after that. This is what happens, not interested. And I spoke to another genuine crystal dealer who we sat in the car together. He was taking me somewhere, and as we were driving, he said, do you know what's happening, Mark, with a lot of these companies all over the world, not just China but India as well? No, what? They're buying up many crystals, and the ones who are buying them actually own fake crystal stores or fake crystal factories. So they're master producers in fakes. And I said, I had this feeling before. Because I guess if you're a fraudster, wouldn't you want to take something genuine and mix it with your fraudster stuff? So that's just one reason why I make this suggestion to you or to your the people you buy from. And what's wrong with that? I think it's a great idea. Why wouldn't they buy it? Why wouldn't they buy a machine that's going to tell them that this is a genuine crystal? And if they were genuine about selling to you, well, you know what? If I really am genuine and I want to sell you one of my crystals and I want it to be genuine, I'm going to buy a machine, and it's 300 euros. You know what? No excuse. So I realized there was no excuse for me. I have to do it. I invested in a microscope, and now I'm investing in an even bigger, powerful microscope, which is costing thousands. Do you know why? So I can genuinely look at every single Moldavite and see if it's genuine. Okay? Now, I'm doing it because I don't want to take them to a meteorologist. So what I'm doing now is I'm going on a course to learn about how only to see Moldavite and Tactite, I'm going to see and really study to be a precise reader of genuine Moldavite and Tactite. And maybe from there I might grow and look at other crystals and see formations. And you know, I know a lot about Moldavite, I know a lot about amber, how to test amber as well, to smell it, and you know, all the key things. And Moldavite, I can genuinely look at one and just about spot it pretty quickly these days. But even so, I would rather send a bunch of Moldavites to a meteorologist to pay them and say, hey, these are genuine, because that's my reputation. I've only got one reputation. Once it's gone, it's gone. So I don't understand why dealers don't buy these machines. So it's a suggestion. Hey, you see how I talk all day? This is how excited I get with crystals, and you can see my genuineness to say that I want every crystal dealer to be, you know, cautious and to really make an effort to make sure that their clients are receiving genuine crystals. That's it. Okay, guys. Well, I guess that this is a crystal channel. I guess this is why I'm talking. This is all about crystals, and it's going to take me here and there, and we're all going to be on different journeys and flying off here and there, and eventually we'll come back to the same place. And that's kind of what I do on these videos. I go all over the place and then end up back in the same place. So anyway, guys, I'm sure the next video will be a lot shorter than this one, but yeah, have a great day. Thank you for going to Bajerski.com and buying your genuine crystals. From my heart to yours, have a most wonderful day. Thank you for coming to Mark Bajerski Crystals new YouTube channel. Bye for now.